So I want to share my story of setting an intention and sticking with it. In late 2011, I had left my husband. We had filed bankruptcy. Our house was in foreclosure. I was kind of a mess, emotionally, spiritually, financially, certainly. But I came to the Intentions Workshop in 2012 because I wanted to learn how to make a difference in my own life. And in that workshop, we dig deep into our heart, into our soul. And one of the intentions that I had, and this was in fact my big, hairy, audacious intention, and if you've been to a workshop, you know that term, or you've listened to any of the intention setting services here. So my big, hairy, audacious intention coming out of 2012 workshop was, I start and manage a fully staffed and self-supporting farm animal sanctuary in the Puget Sound region. Now, that's what my heart said. My head said, no, that's impossible. You're a single woman. You have no money. You have no credit. You can't make a monthly payment. How? That's impossible. But you know what? I started doing what I had to do to make it welcome, which was one of the things that we were taught to do. I bought farm boots and gloves. I talked to someone about how I fix my credit. I started networking with people, vets, feed stores, pet stores. I took classes learning all about animals. And I just kept doing that. And every now and then, my head would say, this is impossible. And my heart would say, you have no other choice. So it didn't happen in 6 months. It didn't happen in 9 months. I gave up over and over and over again. But I would go back to, it's in my heart. And so I would get support. I would call a prayer practitioner, go to my Sangha, talk to a prayer partner. Spirit wasn't going to let me quit it that easy. In the last year, I had the blessing of having my 26-year-old son living with me for a while. And during one of these, times that I had quit, I was done, I told him, I said, because my finances had turned around at that point, miraculously, I said, you know what, I think I'm going to buy a house in the city, in Seattle. And he looked at me, and my son, if you don't know him, most of you don't, he's an outdoors guy, hiking, fishing, mountain kind of guy. And he said to me in utter disgust, and with probably some swear words, why would you move to the city? And so I had to think, why would I? And I came back to my intention, my original intention. It's like, oh yeah, that's where my heart is. Now my intention has changed over the years. This year my intention at the service was that with Spirit as my partner, I intend to open an animal learning center on sanctuary grounds to expose all to the love of animals. But even so, in the last year since I set that intention, I have still quit many times. And in fact, 2 months ago, I was pretty much done again. But again, the support, the prayer practice, spiritual practice is so important. Turning back to Spirit every time that I felt like it was impossible, because I still think it's impossible. But even so, somehow, in 9 days, I sign my final papers, I get my keys, I move into my new home and property on which I will open the Northwest Animal Learning and Event Center. And so, I want to tell you, if you keep at your intentions, you make them welcome, you do your spiritual practice, you get support when you need it, you might give up, but Spirit will not give up on you if it is your good. Thank you.